In this video, I'm going to show you how to format captions so that they're correctly and consistently positioned under all of your photos in your design. So first thing I want to do is create a caption paragraph style. So here's a caption that I created, and one thing I want to do is make this smaller than the body copy. I'm going to go with eight points. I think that'll work. And then what I'm going to do is italicize it. I think that looks perfect. Now, let's create our style from the style that we've already created. So we talked about that. So I'm going to go to paragraph styles and click on create new style. And they created paragraph style 3. And edit that. Call this my caption. Now, I think everything else is fine. Let's look at basic character formats. Minion Pro, italic, 8 points. Leading is, it doesn't really matter. Well, it just depends. I try to keep my captions to one line. I think if you start to get to multiple lines, then I don't know if it's really a caption, then it's more like a paragraph. So there we go. So I'm going to delete the caption. We don't actually need it now. And I'm going to click on my photo and go to Object, Captions, Caption Setup. Now here we're going to set up how we want our caption to be formatted. Do we want any text before it? And this is sort of like a caption master page, I guess you could say. And we don't want anything before it, no text after it. We want the caption to be below the image. Here you can set it different places. And right now the offset, or the space in between the photo and the caption, is 0.0139 inches. That is a pica, ladies and gentlemen, if you know what picas are. It's a standard measurement system that some designers use. You don't have to, but some designers do use picas. And so I'm going to do 2 picas, and 2 picas would be twice 139. And if you're good in math, that would be 278. So we're going to go with that. And paragraph style, I'm going to use always use my when I create my own, so we don't get them confused with caption or any other styles that are created in InDesign by default. So here's my caption. We use that, click OK. Now the next step in the process is to go back to Object with my photo selected, go to Captions, and you can generate a live caption or a static caption. If you generate a live caption, if you change the image, then the caption would be updated along with the image. I'm going to just generate static caption for now. And you notice what that does is that gives me a caption that is based on the name of the photo. And this is the name of the photo. And so now you can go in and modify it to be whatever the caption is that you want. Now before we do that, I wanted to show you, I'm going to delete it really quick. I'm going to show you one of the options in the caption setup was to group caption with image. I'm going to click that, so when we create our caption, it's going to be grouped with the photo, and then when we move the photo around, it's going to follow it. So this is just the setup. It doesn't create the caption. It just creates what the caption, where the caption is going to be positioned. So I'm going to click OK again, go back to Object while everything is selected, and generate static caption. There we are. Now you notice that that's a little bit further down. It's 2 picas down from the photo. And so this is text that we can edit. I'm going to go in here and edit, and of course this wasn't very creative, but yours will be. And so there we have it. And so you do this for every photo, and so this way everything is consistent. And if you decide that you want to change the style, you modify the My Caption style, and it changes the styles from all the captions. This is a way that we create a consistent and very professional looking layout. Now there's another way. There are other ways that you can do this also. Basically, you can embed the metadata of the photo. You can include that basically inside of the photo. I believe you can do that using Adobe Bridge or maybe even Adobe Lightroom. And so when you add the metadata to the photo, when you did what I did, instead of the name of the photo coming out into the caption, it would be the actual caption. So you can embed these, and you can't do it directly into InDesign though. But this is a sort of a workaround to get all of your captions consistent. Here's another way that you can also position your captions consistently. If you don't want to go through what I just showed you with the option command and the paragraph caption, paragraph styles, and things like that, you can just simply type in your caption. Just make sure that your caption is consistent. So one thing you could do is once you get one caption created, just copy and paste and make all the other captions, or just make sure it's exactly the same. So what I do is we're still using the Minion Pro 8 points italic, and then the only other thing is that I'm going to right click on the text frame, go to text frame options, and make sure it's aligned at the top. That way it's consistent with all of the other captions. Now, one thing that we haven't talked about is reference points. And if I click on a photo, every element that I click on in InDesign has reference points. In this case, they're the handles that you see on the middle and the edges around the image. If you look here down on the control panel, I just moved it. It was up, positioned up the top. I pulled it down here. And so you can see that there are 9 reference points here on the control panel associated with the 9 reference points on this image. Now, for those of you who counted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there are actually 8 reference points on the outside of everything that you select. And then the center point is the center reference point. Now, these reference points correspond to the XY location of any image that you select. Now, one thing that we notice here, the width and the height of the image, you can see it here, 4.9 for almost 4.5 inches wide, and then a little under 2.5 inches high. Now, when you come to the XY coordinates, these are XY coordinates that correspond with the ruler location here in InDesign. And if you don't have ruler selected, you go to View and you can click on Show or Hide Rulers. Okay, and this just helps you position things on the page. Now, here's the cool thing. If I click on this top left reference point, it corresponds with the top left reference point here, and it's going to give me what this X and Y location is in regards to or in reference to the ruler. So we're at the ½ inch on the X. This is the X axis, and this is the Y axis, or the Y ruler and the X ruler. And then we're down 1.7431 inches from the ruler. Now, the ruler is actually here where the 0 point is. Now, we can always change this 0 point if we want to make things a little bit easier when we try to position something, and we can put it back when we need to too. But right now, the 0 is here. Here's the tricky part. On this photo, the bottom reference point handle corresponds to the middle bottom reference point on the control panel, and it tells me that the Y coordinate for this point here is 4.1969 inches. I can actually go into this text box and copy that. Now, I'm going to go select the caption, and this is just the most difficult thing probably for designers when you design magazines and things that need captions, is to make your captions consistent. And so now when we click on this text frame, we notice there's still 9 reference points. And the way we can position this caption perfectly underneath the photo is to decide where this reference point is in relationship to the photo. So right now, I'm going to click that top middle reference point. It is at 45836. If I cut and paste here the location from the reference point on the photo and then hit enter, now I have the exact same Y coordinate for the photo, the top middle handle, and the bottom middle handle. Now they're on exactly the same position. Now what we could do is simply select the text frame with the caption in it and click our down arrow on our keyboard once. Now if we clicked it down once, that actually went down 1 pica. And I'm going to go back up and show you this. Right now we are set on inches as a measurement system. I'm going to go to picas. I'm going to change picas on the left and right ruler. And then I'm also going to do this. I'm going to click, hold, and drag this corner area here of the ruler, and it will allow me to change the 0 point on the ruler. And I'm going to make the 0 point the intersection of the bottom left, the bottom middle handle on the photo, and let my hand go. So this is now, you can see that the 0 point changes here, and you can see the 0 is here. So now right where we are is the 0 point of the page. And now if we click our down arrow, we'll see that the Y coordinate adjusted to 1 pica. So it's 1 pica away from the photo. I actually like 2 or 3 picas. So if we go down, we can go down to 3, or we can go down to 2 picas. I'll just keep it at 2. And then we can go back to inches and see what that is too. Okay, and it should be 0.0278, right? Because every pica is 0.0139. So it's 2 picas. And now you can group the photo and the caption, group them together to make sure that they move around on the page the same way. So you don't have to add text wrap to your photos. If you're going to position them in between columns or at the beginning of columns, you don't have to add any text wrap to it. So, but if you do, once you group them, you put text wrap on both, and then you'll be fine. Let me know if you have any questions about that. So there are a couple different ways to do it, but you just want to make sure if you do it this way that every time you position your caption away from the photo, it's 2 picas, 1 pica, or whatever that you use. Make sure it's consistent. This way your design looks flawlessly perfect. And like I always say, we like to use in InDesign laser-like precision. Now if you want to change these 0 points back from the ruler, all you do is position your pointer in between the intersection of both ruler guides and double click. And that'll move the ruler back to 0.